All right, welcome back to The Ride. I'm Coach Q, and I'm happy to have you back for another episode. Today, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Tay Rodriguez, freshman Faceoff man from the University of Michigan. Our two-part conversation led us first down the topic of NIL and content creation in the sport of lacrosse today, while the second half of the episode is dedicated to developing elite Faceoff talent, wing play and transition tactics, Michigan's team culture, and more. As always, hopefully you find some value in it and enjoy the ride. All right, Tay, welcome to The Ride, man. Really excited to have you here giving me some geography lessons here. I don't know what you would call it, but we were talking about the flag behind you here right before we started, man. But I'm excited to have you today. We're going to have ourselves a great convo. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so what is this flag, man? You said it's from your hometown?
This flag is the Chicago flag. So I'm originally from Wheaton, Chicago suburb, the western suburbs. So, just wanted to display a little hometown in the dorm room.
I love that, man. I love that. You were also showing on your Instagram. I'm following you. You post a lot of good stuff, but you just started practice there. You guys are getting snowed out and just having to go out to practice, But you're used to it. Being from Chicago, it's just like another day for you.
Yeah, the weather's nothing new, but we are practicing indoors right now, so that is kind of nice.
All right. Well, I got a couple questions to start, man. First of all, I might know somebody who used to coach you, so these come from him.
Okay.
Coach Gorsline wants to know how many goals you think you'd had at Culver if he didn't call you off the field so many times.
Coach G, man. I don't know, man. He was my coach for the first 2 years I was there, so, I think my sophomore year, that was the year I had the most goals, and I definitely think I could have had a couple more. So I'd say maybe 5 to 10 more.
Were there a couple times where you were going to cage and you could hear his voice? You're like, dang it, coach, I could have got that one in there.
They're screaming yellow, slow down, just get rid of it. It's like, thought I had that one.
Does that piss you off as a Pogo guy?
Sometimes, we don't get all the opportunities, so we try to take what we can get. But, at the same time, it's a team game, so you can't take it all for yourself.
I got you, man. How did that time at Culver prepare you for the D1 life in Michigan?
I think Culver set me up perfectly heading into playing Division I lacrosse here at Michigan. Definitely still with a little bit of a wake-up call when I first got here, but I think I was well prepared, and I think better prepared than some other kids out there. You're playing with some of the best kids in the country at Culver. My team, my junior and senior year, our roster was legit, and playing around those guys only makes you better. So it set me up perfectly.
There's a lot of guys that come into college maybe thinking they're more prepared than they actually are. What were those things that you were just mentioning? Like, hey, there was still some kind of carryover, even though you were, prepped by Culver and all that. What were some of those things where you just like, holy crap, I wasn't ready for this one?
Yeah, it's just the different play styles and a lot of the different kids you go against. At Culver in high school, you'll play some kids where you're absolutely destroying stuff. You don't play kids that you're going to be absolutely 50-50 with every single week. But when you're here at college, in the fall, it was you're battling for that ball every single face-off, which was a little wake-up call to me. It took me a little bit to settle in, but I think I've settled in quite a bit. I've been playing well recently, so that was definitely a wake-up call.
Yeah, we're going to have to kind of have two conversations here, right? One, I want to talk about, the face-off position, your development, and just kind of dive deep in the lines on that. But also, the reason I even kind of got introduced to you is through your Instagram content, and you post daily for the most part, and you have those stories where you're kind of following you through your life, and they're super engaging. So we're going to have two of those combos. We'll try to get in between the lines here later in the episode, but right off the bat, man, tell me a little bit about this type of content you're creating, where that inspiration came from, and what the goals you have kind of with it, why you're even doing it. I would love to kind of dive in because there's a lot of people interested in social media, NIL, all this stuff.
Yeah. So first, how I got into it is I've always had an interest in videography and photography and stuff like that. I have a legit camera, but it's a little hard to use, so I haven't gotten into that. So I'm just using my phone right now, which honestly, the phones nowadays, you're getting quality that's damn near as good. So I've always had an interest in that, so I was like, all right, give it a shot. I see guys out there making money. You see guys I don't know, do you know Trace Young? He played LSU basketball.
No.
No. And then Cash Peterman, you know him, is
some of these guys I might not know, some of them I do,
Yeah,
but yeah, tell me about them.
these are guys that like didn't play much in college, but one played D1 football and one played D1 basketball, but they took advantage of social media and completely took off with it. Like they were one of the they're leading in NIL and they're not even like playing every snap or playing on the court every single play.
Hmm.
I was like, lacrosse isn't a revenue generating sport, so we're not like seeing a ton of like time on ESPN and stuff anyway, so I need to get myself out there in different ways. So I thought social media would be a great way to do that. And I mean, my Instagram's kind of been taking off quite a bit. It's been 3 months and I've already hit 10K followers, which was huge. I was not expecting that. But I was like, this is how I'm going to take advantage of NIL. If I want to make some money out of it, this is how I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, you're just getting into it. You said your Instagram following has grown over the last 3 months, but I'm interested as you kind of continue to go along this process, what that looks like in lacrosse, and I'm not adept at it even on the football and basketball side. I'm sure, again, there's way more money floating around for those guys, but I'm just interested in like once you get to the point where you grow your profile to a certain extent, like what those conversations with brands are like. Have you had brand conversations yet?
I've had a couple. I mean, they're not like huge where I'm getting like great, like a couple grand out of it. Like it's just a couple $100 right now for like a video or something like that. I've been getting a lot of companies just sending me like free stuff to just like try their stuff out and then like recommend it to my teammates or other people I know.
Mm-hmm.
So the deals haven't been huge, but they've been getting a little bigger as I go.
Yeah. Are you looking at that like, as far as number wise on the account, followers and things like this? Do you need to hit a 50,000 follower cap to like start getting paid a little bit more?
I don't think it really matters with how many followers you do have, but obviously more of the followers that attracts bigger brands to come to your page and want you to like share their product out to the public.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say there's a set number, but always more is better.
Are you thinking local brands approaching you or national brands? I'm sure it's maybe a combination of both, but I'm just interested in what brands are asking you to do with their product and whether it does have more of a local feel where you've got businesses in Ann Arbor that might be more apt to reach out to and stuff like that.
So far I've had like kind of both. So like locally I've had like a couple restaurants reach out to me, and so I'm taking a couple of guys to a restaurant place with me next week, and I'm going to shoot a video there, and they're just giving us all free meals for it, and then giving me some money to do that as well. I was like, why not? Bring the guys out to dinner. And then like at a national level, it's like I've had a couple brands reach out, more of like social brands that are kind of trying to grow on social media, so kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. Give me your thought process around when you started this kind of daily content. I'm assuming that's the stuff that really blew you up. I might be wrong, let me know. But from a content creation standpoint, what made you go about like, hey, I'm just going to start recording my day to day?
This like started in like this was like the first couple weeks of October. And I mean, on my feed, I kept seeing like, oh, like day in the lives of like a college athlete and stuff, and these videos were like blowing up. And then I would see a couple other videos where like people were like, take advantage of social media as an athlete. This is how you're gonna make money. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. And when I'm filming this stuff, it like doesn't really get into the way of what I'm doing in my day-to-day life, because it is my day-to-day life that I'm filming. So I just film myself while I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept because I look at this stuff and I'm like, okay, someone's filming themselves waking up. Like they have to have already woke up.
Yeah,
and
that
said
stuff I do if I go back and do it. But a lot of times I'll do that more when I'm at home on break when I don't have much to do. So like I haven't been doing that here in the dorm room. I also have a roommate, so I also like don't want to mess up him and his sleep and stuff like that. But
do you ever ask him to like, hey, can you film me doing this real quick?
I've borrowed his phone like a couple times for a video, but I won't ask him to like film or anything.
Yeah. Is this daily content, or are you like doing it maybe like twice a week? You're getting some raw content that you then go back and edit?
I try posting daily, but it's hard as when you're playing a sport in college, it's a lot. So I would say it's more of like 3 to 4 times a week. If I can do daily, that would be great, but a lot of times I just can't.
Yeah.
And then like some of the footage, like I'll just reuse some footage for some videos and then like make different videos out of it. like to attack a different audience or to share something else about my life. But most of my videos is like raw footage throughout the day.
So I'm assuming you started in October and you kind of had a good amount of followers. I mean, you're fairly, again, you're great at lacrosse and you've been probably posting recruiting videos and have that account. But take me through the process of, okay, you start posting this stuff in October and then you notice kind of the uptick and the trend. Kind of, was that just from the daily videos, and what other type of content really
Yeah.
got you on the radar?
Yeah. So I actually I started a completely new Instagram account for this. So I started with 0 followers. I didn't have anything. I mean, my teammates were the first to follow me, of course, and then some of my like hometown friends and people that I grew up playing lacrosse with. And then I posted my first video, which was a day in the life. And that blew up, and that was like kind of like my sign, like maybe I should actually start
Lean
doing
in.
this more often, because that video I'm pretty sure is close to like 2 million views now, and I'm like, all right, yeah, let's.
Well, I need to go back and see this first video. Like, what were you doing in that video?
It was just a day in the life, like it was nothing crazy, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like I look back and watch that video, and I like kind of cringe on like how bad it was, because I've gotten a lot better at it, but I mean, like the better I get at it, I guess the more like reach I'll get on Instagram and TikTok, and more followers too.
Yeah, I know a lot of the coaches that are here for the in the line stuff are like, God, guys, social media talk for the next 20 minutes, but we're gonna have it. All right, damn you, we're gonna have it.
Yeah.
Because
My coach
again,
actually, the first week, like told us like, take advantage of social media. This is how, if you want to make money, this is how you're gonna do it.
Connery said that.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
wow.
like, take advantage of social media.
Other than that, did he say anything else about kind of that?
He's like, it was kind of more of just like that, but he said like, if you really want to like make this serious, like basically just like promote yourself, like make a professional account. If you want to like get out there and reach companies, like make sure you have like
Yeah.
I guess it was just like, just take advantage of social media.
What was his response once he probably knows that you were blowing up a little bit on some of these videos? You're getting 2 million views. He might be one of them. But what was his response, and what has the staff's response been?
The staff, I mean, they've supported me, like they haven't said anything bad about it. Like they'll mess with me a little bit, like at practice, to be like, oh, day in the life of a face-off guy at practice or something like that. They'll mess with me a little bit. It's funny, I don't care. But like they're not like, oh, like you can't be doing this, or like, what are you doing? Oh, you focus on this too much. Nah, they're like, they completely support me on it. They'll joke with me, but at the same time, it's all out of love.
I mean, that's 100% the way they should go about it. Again, it's just my opinion, but you look at the way sports are going, and NIL is certainly going to shift. I mean, it's been absolutely insane, I think, the past year or two, the way it's being run, but it's still moving more in that direction than backwards towards what we've been used to. So for a coach to be like, hey, none of that here on my field or on my team, I mean, good luck.
Yeah, no, Connery and the rest of the staff has not been like that whatsoever. They've supported me. He's been trying to give me some ideas too, as well. So yeah, like I'll
got some good ones?
talk to him, and he'll be like, "It's actually, some of them aren't that bad," but like at the same time, it's like I have to like make it really personalized. I'm more of like, I'm a thing where it's like, this is like my day to day. I want to share what life is like as an athlete. That's the content I try going as.
So 2 questions here. One, what type of other platforms are you trying to get on? Are you looking to maybe do some stuff on YouTube? Do you already do TikTok or YouTube? Like, I saw your stuff on Instagram, obviously, but how are you going about kind of the multi-platform?
So right now I just use Instagram and TikTok. YouTube, I mean, I don't know how to really use YouTube. I feel like YouTube's more of like vlogging kind of thing, and that's not what I really want to do. I mean,
I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm just trying to give you like advice. I've been doing this for a long time. Just post whatever you have, post it on YouTube. Like, if it's getting 2 million views on Instagram, there's something right, that you're doing that will, if you reach somebody on YouTube, you can get subscribers. And the way I look at YouTube is from a monetization standpoint, if you post a viral video, YouTube is going to hit you with more cash than any of the other platforms combined.
Yeah, that is true. Because that's the same thing with TikTok and Instagram, where TikTok doesn't really pay you, Instagram doesn't pay you directly. They don't monetize. But that's where a lot of the brands are. So if you're shooting for like brand deals or like collaborations and stuff, that's more of Instagram's thing. And then TikTok pays you directly. So if you start blowing up on there, like you can make money from TikTok. Like brands can still reach out to you on TikTok, but they're more on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, but TikTok has more rules before you can get monetized for it. Like, I think you have to have a 10K followers and like, you have to have a certain amount of views over 10,000, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. I would have to go back and look. But TikTok has more rules about that. YouTube, I've thought about it. I probably should get into that. But Instagram's been my main one so far.
Yeah, look, don't change it if it's not broke, right? Don't fix it if it's not broke. But the addition, I think, would be interesting just because you hit a chord with people. I'm not saying that it's going to have the same effect over there. You know that different platforms kind of feel native in certain ways, and that day in the life stuff definitely feels native to Instagram. What type of content are you thinking about doing beyond the kind of day in the life where you're filming yourself? Have you thought about other content you can do as maybe out of season or in season?
In season, definitely, like, we have a scrimmage coming up, so I'm gonna try doing something around the scrimmage. My birthday's coming up, and I told my parents, just give me money. I just want to buy what I want to buy. So I'm gonna basically, all the birthday money I get, I'm gonna invest it into myself and try building this more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do have an actual camera, so I kind of want to get into more of, like, just kind of like cinematic footage, I would say. Like something that's like a cool, like, emotional video. That's kind of where I kind of want to go to, build some more on that as well, just to reach a different
Like
audience.
more mini doc style?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like little short films kind of thing. So I want to, like, diversify my stuff a little bit more.
That feels ready made for YouTube, and I'm sure you already know that. But yeah, I love your trajectory, dude. If you can get your name out there more, and like, I think you got a Tay, like, already. I can already see, like, that's a unique, character personality that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, be honest with this whole, like, content creation thing, like, you just got to get over that hump a little bit. Like, it was a little scary, hurt your ego a little bit, like, but once you get over that, like, what everyone else thinks, like, for the first, like, month, that's how it was. Like, oh, what are people thinking about me? Is my content really, like, watchable and stuff? I got over that, and now I'm like, I can make something out of this.
There's a quote that I'm absolutely going to butcher, but it was basically saying most people don't start or go hard at what they want because they're scared of who they can be or who they could be, and I really like that. And I've faced that with my, not wanting to go full board with this podcast up until this year, so yeah, that's a really great point, man.
Yeah. Is this, like, the podcast? I'm just asking you a question. Like, this is, like, something you enjoy doing, right? Like, this is a hobby of yours kind of thing?
It is actually a hobby, man, and it's mostly because I like learning from people, and I like, spending an hour, taking little tidbits from mainly coaches, but your knowledge here on the social media front and Faceoffs, like, I just love learning from people.
Yeah, that's, like, the same thing for me. Like, this content creation thing is, like, all out of, like, hobby, and, like, this is something I enjoy doing, so it doesn't feel like, like I'm doing, like, a job or work or something like that. This is something I enjoy doing, and if I can make money out of that, and eventually more money if I can, like, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Once you figure out monetization, shoot me a call and tell me how you did it, because that's the toughest part a lot of times, man. You can grow, the product can be awesome, but monetization is tricky, right? There's a lot of ways you can go about it. Any other stuff related to the content? Like, what would you say to a player that's looking to get into, posting different type of content, or what things he should be doing? Like, you said you only use a phone, but is there a microphone that he could get to? Like, what type of tools else are you using?
I mean, what I do is, like, I do voiceovers a lot, because honestly, like, speaking to the phone is, like, hard to me. I have to get used to that. And also, like, the audio isn't great. So, like, the headphones you're wearing right now is a great tool to, like, just do voiceovers and, like, add something to your videos. So honestly, right now it's my phone, the wired headphones, and occasionally that camera I have over there if I need to film other stuff. But, like, you don't need all these, like, cool gadgets or anything to do this. Like, the phone is perfect, and, like, getting into it, I'd say, is just, like, forget what other people think, man. Just, if you're trying to make money, go for it. If you're just trying to create something, do it.
What editing software are you using?
I'd choose CapCut.
CapCut? Yeah, that's what I use too.
Yeah, it's easy. And then if I do have to use my camera, Michigan, like, our email, like, we get, like, free software with Adobe. So, like, I can use Adobe Premiere Pro for free with my Michigan email.
What would you be doing with Adobe?
That's if I use, like, an actual camera, so, like, color grading, like, off of off the camera, and that
Filters.
has, yeah, exactly. And then it's also easier for like different kind of editing because CapCut on the phone is pretty limited when it comes to like sound effects and crossfading sounds and also like speed ramping on videos. So that Adobe's better for that kind of stuff.
What other type of content have you seen on the multi-sport front? You mentioned the basketball player, maybe a football player. I don't know if both of those guys are basketball players, but what other type of stuff resonated where you're like, oh, that's really popular. Let me try to recreate this stuff in lacrosse.
Um, like specifically lacrosse or just kind of videos I've posted.
Just in general, like again, I want folks that are trying to do this, or don't know the way to go about it to try to take their first step. What
Yeah.
type of
I
content?
mean, what I've like learned is like just watch Instagram Reels or like look up people that like you kind of like are in the same realm, like the same niche, I would say, and just see what videos blew up for them and kind of mimic that, but not completely. You don't want to completely copy them, but in a way like in what you do in your own version of that or like what song they use and stuff like that. Like my biggest video right now has like 4.5 million views and that grew me like that got me like 8,000 followers in a week.
Wow.
One video, and that was because I was like looking up kids that I like follow or like we kind of create the same videos and what blew up for them.
And
So
that
it's
was
like
that video was the day in the life video.
no, this one's a different one. That was like my nightly stretching routine.
Oh,
Yeah. And it's like something as simple as that, like blew up crazy. And it's
yeah.
like you just gotta like study what helped what worked for other people.
Yeah, the analogy that I've heard is the kind of jab, jab, right hook when it comes to content. And what that means is a lot of people, and myself included, like I'm good at the consistency of doing this every week, but like an example of a right hook, like a knockout punch, was viral content, right? You just mentioned one video got you 8,000 followers.
Yeah.
You have
All you
to,
need is one big video and then more will start to come. Like not every video is gonna go viral. I mean, trust me, it hurts when you think a video will go viral and then it absolutely flops, but it's fine. Like that exactly. I think that's a perfect analogy, like the jab jab hook. Like one big one, it's gonna knock out, get a million views, and then a couple others will just be like a couple thousand. You're like, oh, damn,
yeah.
bro, it sucks. But then like it's gonna, if you keep posting, it's gonna blow up.
Do you think about interacting with a quote unquote community? Like as you bring in these people, right? As they get kind of down the funnel of this is the first time I've heard you to like, I'm super interested in this cat and looking at more of his content. Do you think about like doing a live stream or commenting on people who comment on your videos? How are you thinking about interacting with folks that want to be your fan, basically?
Yeah, that's the one thing, huge thing I've learned actually is like a lot of my reels now is like how to debunk the algorithm on Instagram. Like that's what my page is on one of my accounts, and it's super helpful. It's basically like if you interact with people, that Instagram will push your video out more. So when people like comment like or DM me or like other people's videos show up on my feed that are similar to my kind of feed I put out there, it's like you want to interact with it because then it shows Instagram that like you're engaged.
Mm.
That kind of like that. So if people comment, I will give them a response. If it's like a kind of like a comment you don't really give a response to, I'll like it. I'll like every single comment. So it shows that I'm interacting, like I'm a real person and I'm engaging with my audience.
I would like to see a live stream from you, like Instagram Live. Do you do Instagram Live at all?
I haven't yet, no.
I think that's from my experience, like the live content is where you connect with your community,
Hmm.
and I'm using, again, community as a very broad term, especially in the industry, the crypto industry that I come from originally. It's a very broad term. It can be bastardized a little bit, but interacting with the community, once you have the people there, live streams, man.
Yeah. No, I've heard live streams is a great way to like kind of get your stuff out there more and then have more interactions with your community.
Yes.
And that, yeah, like I haven't done it yet, but that's something I've kind of been looking into.
Yeah, and people want to know, like, behind the scenes. Is there any restriction on what Coach Connery or how you feel about what you can't film?
A lot of like, I've done a couple like workout videos, but I won't share my exact workout because that's like our team workout. And
Okay.
I feel like it's not right to post something like that unless I ask like my strength and conditioning coach or coach. So I'll just kind of like film myself doing like one or two exercises in it, but not giving the whole thing away. Like, I just don't think that's right.
What about like a Friday night or a Saturday night going out with the
Yeah, no,
boys? Stay
I'm
away from that.
stay away from that. Definitely. I mean, as we get in season, it'll be Friday and Saturday night will be a lot more low key.
For
But
sure.
like, in the fall, like it'll get, especially football here, it gets pretty rowdy. So I definitely want to leave that out.
Yeah. We're about at the 30-minute mark. Anything else that we maybe haven't touched on related to this content, man? I think you're doing a cool thing. I think a lot of people are trying to kind of wade into these waters too, and I'm just trying to help either players or coaches help their players to kind of do this stuff. So is there anything else that coaches should know about this when it comes to their players? Either doing what Coach Connery did, which is like, hey, take advantage of this, or how they can help their players or not stand in their way.
I'd be like, I wouldn't say you would have to do like what I'm doing, where you're posting like daily or like 3 to 4 times a week, like videos about like what your day is going on. But just take advantage of social media in a way where like make it seem professional, like almost like a LinkedIn account, but on Instagram, but solely lacrosse. Because if you want to like partner with brands or something, a lot of them want to partner with athletes and like athletic companies. And obviously, as an athlete, you want to partner with companies that are revolved around athletics. So just make it seem like you're professional, you're legit athlete, like clean profile. There's no like pictures on there that's like, yeah, like you're messing around or something like that. Yourself. That's all like really I can say. It's what I'm trying to do. I'm just marketing myself right now. And one thing, do you know who Frederick Flips is?
You know.
No, okay. So he's a gymnast here at the University of Michigan. He's got like 900,000 followers on Instagram and something like that on TikTok. And he's only a senior here at Michigan. I collaborated with him like 2 months ago. It was like one of my first videos, and he taught me a couple things too. It's just like invest in yourself, and like all this really is just marketing yourself. Like with NIL, things have changed so much, and all it is how you're going to market yourself.
What did he say about investing in yourself? What specific details did he give you?
He basically said like the first couple bucks he made off like Instagram and TikTok, he took that money, saved up a little bit, and then went back and like got someone to edit his videos, like pays people to help film videos for him. That's basically what he kind of told me, because he didn't go completely in depth into it, but he's just like investing into yourself in that standpoint, so you have more time on your own, or more time to create ideas, but then you have someone else to edit it for you.
When it comes to these brands, do they want you to showcase the business or the product on one post? How do you go about like kind of fulfilling what they need, right? Which is kind of either awareness or conversion or what have you. What's that kind of process that you're talking through with these businesses?
Yeah, so like some of the business I've worked with, one of them was like you have to reach a certain amount of views to get paid. And then another one was just like they just want me to create a video and post one story a month. Just kind of show like that I'm using their product.
So one reel and one story, or just one story?
One reel and one story a month, and then they'll pay me every month for that. But it's kind of just, they just want me to show my audience that I use their product.
Got it. I love that, like how Shaq talked about this one time, where he was like using products as he was kind of broke and got into the league, and as he became famous and had all this money, like he wanted to work then with those products that really helped him when he was kind of younger. Do you think about like, I want to be with products that I use on a daily basis, or I'm just going to kind of see what I can get no matter what?
As of now, I'm just going with it. Like, companies reach out, I'm going to say yes to almost everything right now. Like, I'm just trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to create a brand for myself and also work with other brands. But if this like blows up, if it keeps going how it is right now, I'm going to want to work with brands that I use on like a daily basis, or ones that help me get to where I am today.
What's this look like after college? Have you thought about that?
I haven't thought about that. I mean, I'm just
got a while.
Yeah, I got a while. Like, if this actually turns into something, like, I'll continue with it. But if it starts to die off, then, focus on getting a job. And I guess if it goes, it goes.
Yeah. What would be your dream brand to work with in lacrosse, or in and out of lacrosse?
In and out of lacrosse? Dang, that's a really hard question. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I definitely say would want to be like a sports apparel brand, something like that. Honestly, Viore, if I would say something. Um, I mean, you see like Arch Manning, Jalen Milrow, like working with them. That's like my favorite brand of clothing. Like I
Really?
wear clothes all the time. Yeah, because it's like I love like Lululemon. They've got nice clothes, but it's too workouty. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's too much of like workout clothes. Where
Sure.
Viore is more of that lifestyle kind of thing, and you can work out in it. So
Got it.
I love their apparel. So if I could work with Viore at one point, that'd be a dream.
Is Viore on point with the quality and pricing of
Oh
Lululemon, or
yeah,
is
it's
Lululemon?
it's like I'd say it's very similar to Lululemon, but it's a little bit cheaper. I'd say, and the quality's right up there with. I almost think their quality's better.
Got it. Got it. All right. And in lacrosse?
In lacrosse, um, I'd probably say ECD or String King.
Yeah. That's
As
mine
a,
too, man. Let me throw this out there. You're my favorite brand too, ECD. Let's
yeah,
get you sponsoring
yeah.
the
I
podcast.
mean, as of now, I've used the String King Mark II-F as a face-off guy my whole life.
Yeah.
Recently, I've kind of gotten into like the new Weapon X head that ECD has created, and I absolutely love it. So if I can work with them, they do a great job with marketing, and they got a ton of cool stuff in the lacrosse aspect. So it's like
I want
I'd love to work with them.
I want to go in between the lines here in the next minute or two, but just one last kind of consultation here for you, because I love the trajectory you're on. Maybe we can have this conversation afterwards too, off air. But
Yeah.
when I think about like the product that you have, the next thing I'm doing is like looking at where the monetization is happening or where the money's flowing, where the capital is, right? And I'm thinking, man, for you, it's like, well, why not promote tournaments? Tournaments have a ton of money coming through. And I think that those are the people that want to get their name out there and, either at the tournament or before. It's interesting to me.
I mean, yeah, like money's flowing everywhere. Like nowadays in lacrosse too, like those tournaments, like that is bread making over there. Those tournaments, trust. I went through that whole thing too, like my recruiting summer, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd love to like work with some tournaments or something like that too. So, like, I mean, my actual job, like going kind of off this a little bit, my actual job is like, I wouldn't say actual job, but like what I do, like when I'm at home, when I'm working, is I'm working with a lacrosse club.
Okay.
And it's awesome. Like I love coaching these little kids and prepping them for tournaments and stuff like that.
What's the first thing you're doing with a face-off kid? Let's go with one brand new kid and then one experienced kid. What's the first thing you're doing as a coach?
If it's a brand new kid, I immediately tell them to get in their stance, and then I'm like, all right, get in your stance, get comfortable, and then I'll like look at it. I'll take a picture sometimes, or I'll just kind of like correct them there, and I'll be like, all right, this is what we need to change. Like it's gonna feel uncomfortable, but if you work at it, it'll become more comfortable and it'll help you in so many ways. And then when it comes to experienced, like if I know they're experienced, I'll just take them through my typical warm up, what I did in high school, and like what I do here.
Okay.
I'll still tell them to get in their stance just in case, because like I mean, my stance not perfect either, but a lot of times, like if you're a younger kid and that's who I'm working with, there's gonna be something that you can critique so they don't create bad habits.
I love the film aspect there. A lot of coaches are obviously clipping up film and showing it like in practice and all that stuff, but being able to be on the ground floor and have a kid go through something and have that video right there for them to kind of, take feedback off of is an interesting coaching point, man. That's good.
Yeah, if I'm working with kids, I'm using my phone all the time, like to video it so I can show them. Because a lot of people are visual learners, and if I tell them what they're doing, they're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about. But if I take a video and tell them what they're doing, they're gonna understand a lot more.
You can show them, hey, this is exactly where what I'm talking about. Where
then
they're like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and then he'll actually see it, and then he'll focus on that part more.
All right, so let's go in between the lines here. Choosing Michigan obviously was a big choice for you. Tell me about that choice and kind of where you're at now with Michigan. The season's upcoming. We got 2 weeks till the season starts.
Yeah.
You got a scrimmage coming up. Tell me a little bit about your time at Michigan and what you think about the 26th season here for yourself.
So choosing Michigan, I think it was really easy for me. Being a Midwest kid, it just felt like home. But I mean, I was an Ohio State fan growing up. My whole family's
Oh,
from
God.
Ohio. But I realized like during that like recruiting summer and that whole year, it's like I need to be open. And I knew Michigan like was really interested in me because my roommate and best friend in high school, he was 2 years older than me. He's here at Michigan right now. And also it's a great school. I couldn't pass it up. So I was like, the great school. They've been absolutely destroying it in lacrosse the past couple years, winning a couple Big Ten championships. I mean, Big Ten is where my heart is, just being from the Midwest. So I thought it was an easy choice for me. And then now that I've gotten here, like, it's definitely different because, I mean, I'm in a suburb, but here feels a lot more like kind of like an urban area. And so living here has been a little different, but it's been absolutely like amazing, super fun. You got everything around you. The team's absolutely amazing. They welcomed me in like instantly. Everyone was super nice. Even before I got there, they were like calling me every week, checking in, like how are the workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it felt like home before I even got here. And then once I got here, I was like, all right, like
Who was calling you?
guys.
Players?
Yeah, like everyone. Players, the coaches would call me and check in every once in a while. The players would call me like every week. We have something that's called scrums, so we break it's like
Like a pod.
eight or nine guys, and there's like multiple groups throughout the team, and we would have a bunch of like group FaceTimes and stuff like that, just checking in, what they want from us, what we want from them, and kind of like that. So it was like that culture standpoint, and that summer before even coming in, like made me feel like, all right, this is where I want to be.
I'm going to have Coach Rogowski. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Am I saying Coach's name right? I'm going to have him on the I'm going to have him on the podcast here in the next couple weeks. What have you learned about kind of culture building and just program building and all that stuff from the staff as you've been there for now, 8 months, and learning from these guys?
Yeah. So culture is like a huge thing here. And I think we've definitely taken it a huge like part of our team. Like culture's been a huge part of it this fall and this year as a whole. Because last year was a bit of a down year for us, and coach was definitely not happy with that. So we're changing some things around here. This fall, every Friday, we would have a team culture meeting before practice. So we'd have like one of our like mental health and culture like directors in the facility where we're at, like come and like talk with our team, go over like some stuff. We'll answer questions, and as like a group, we'll talk about what we want from each other. So it's like building culture in that. And then we also have what's called Victor's Week. We have like 1 week in the fall, like after we do all our scrimmages, which is like we don't even play lacrosse. It's just like random different games, and we learn how to like work together in those games. And then we also have this one race, which absolutely horrible. It sucks. So you run like 5 miles around campus while doing like a bunch of workouts in like every mile or something like that. And it's basically just like pushing each other, and you have to work together to get through it.
Yeah, last season for spring break, my team, Catholic High School, went down to North Carolina. We were just kind of playing some teams down there. And we also went to, it's kind of like an open air adventure park where you kind of go up into the trees and walk through, different courses and stuff like that. And a lot of stuff on the ground too that was like team building. And I think what you were just talking about with activities or just team building activities, I think are underrated, man, because there was so much like character and personality traits that came out through that. Even myself, I was watching the guys do some of these activities and struggle with it, and I like wanted to input myself and help them where that's probably not the best thing to do, right? Let them figure it out. There's so many different personality traits that come through that. I think it's super underrated to do that with the team.
Yeah, we've taken advantage of that kind of stuff this past fall, and I think it's helped. Like our team culture is amazing right now.
Yeah, love it.
The
man.
locker room just feels like when you're in the locker room, it's like one big home.
Who do you guys start out the season with?
So we have a scrimmage next Saturday with Robert Morris here at Michigan. and then our first game is the 31st against Mercyhurst.
Okay. And you're walking in as a freshman. Are you expecting playing time here, or how does that look?
I mean, as of now, I really don't know. Our starting Fogo last year, Jackie Weller, he had some health. He got injured last spring, and he's just returning, and he's a great Fogo. I'll admit he's really good. So I don't know what my playing time really will look like. I do expect to see like some minutes, especially the first couple weeks. But as the season goes, like I don't really know yet. It all kind of depends how the season goes.
I had a really interesting conversation with Sean Byrne, the Army goalkeeper, and those are two unique positions, right? Where you don't have a second line midfield that you can be on and get like some playing
Yeah.
time. It's really all or nothing. Obviously, face-off guys can be a trio or a double header or anything like that. But
Yeah.
how are you preparing yourself for not playing all the time like you did at Culver and competing and all that stuff? How mentally are you kind of going through that?
It's definitely going to be different. I'll definitely say that because I mean my 4 years at Culver, I was playing every single year. So it's going to be a lot different. I just got to keep working like outside of like practice and games. Like I have to put my own time in and make sure I'm getting better as the season goes. But I'm going to try my best to get in the most minutes I can.
From a perspective of looking at the face-off position over the last, I would say 8 years, right? From the time that you were in youth to the time that you went through high school now to college, has the face-off position changed or kind of the philosophies around it or how you were taught? Has any of that
Yeah.
changed?
I feel like every year something changes at the face-off position. I just like our position goes through a lot of changes. When I started, like knee down was a thing. But like I was doing it for maybe like a year, maybe 2 years, and then we switched to stand up, which was like during COVID too. So it's like we couldn't go out to clinics or anything. Like I had to teach myself how to do it. And since then, like it's changed a little bit with like how like they set up the face off and stuff like that, but not huge changes. I feel like every year there's always something new you could learn about it that like the face off academy or the face off factory, like new moves or something different about stances and stuff like that. Like there's always something you can learn.
Yeah. What's your primary kind of trait or strategy? Don't give away the goods, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel like you're giving away anything like that, but just around kind of helping guys get better, right? And helping
Don't be a
coaches.
one trick pony. That's the one thing I have to say as a face off guy is that's kind of how I've built myself as a face off guy. Is like I'll never do one move in a game. If, unless I'm like absolutely winning and destroying, like I'm gonna stick to that move. But if I'm winning majority, like clamping wise, I'm not gonna do it every time, even if like I'm winning most of them. I like to mix it up because at the same time the face off position is very mental.
In what ways?
Like it's kind of in a way it's like a guessing game. Like you don't know what they're gonna do, so it's like unless you absolutely know like they're a one trick pony and
Got
they
it.
know what's coming. But like it's a game of rock. It's a huge game of rock paper scissors, but a little more complex.
Yeah. How do you feel about kind of the full release of that ball within the radius of the face-off X, right? Are you trying to pick that up immediately, or is there a way that you can kind of, put that ball more forward than usual? How do you look about that, like, release once you have the clamp?
That all depends like when you have clamp. Like if you get it off the initial whistle, like you're trying to get out quick and get it to space, and you always want to keep it a one-on-one ground ball if you can, because when it gets on 3-on-3, that's when it kind of gets a mess and stuff like that. And then if you're in like a lockup and you're just spinning in a circle, like we've kind of been working on that here in Michigan, just like having our wings communicate to us while we're rotating and stuff like that, like where it's open, where to pull the ball out and stuff like that. You want to keep it a one-on-one ground ball because I like our coaches trust all of us face-off guys to get the ground ball, especially if we have the clamp. So it's just making sure like keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah. What are some other things you've learned from Face-Off Academy and just kind of growing as a face-off guy, maybe as a youth player, high school player? What are some things you learn from specific individuals? I know there's like a bunch of personalities in the face-off game, right, that I can
Yeah.
name, but
I mean, a lot of my like stance kind of stuff like that. Like when I was first getting into stand up, like Face Off Academy, like I've followed them for a while. Like I know the guys that like run it, like Greg Renly and Jerry Reganese. So I learned a lot from them when I first started and was kind of getting into it. Like stance wise was a huge thing for me. Like I was kind of a mess when I first started, but they helped me out.
A
Just
mess
with
how? What
the ways they
specifics?
coached me. Like my technique was not great. And this was like 8th grade, so this was like 5 years ago, maybe
So
four
you're
or five
just
years
standing
ago.
awkwardly
Yeah, it's just like off the whistle. Like I'm just like I don't know how to say it, but I was just like not
raw.
technically sound. Yeah. So a lot of the videos they posted actually kind of helped me, especially when I was at Culver, my like freshman year, because that was a big adjustment too.
Mm. What's the most overvalued trait that kids practice all the time, face-off guys practice all the time, and what's the most undervalued trait that guys don't practice enough that they should be doing more?
Overvalued, I think, is like clamping. Obviously, I think clamping's a great thing. That's like the main move in face-offs, but a lot of times it's what kids only practice. And sometimes you're gonna meet someone that's got crazy quick hands or crazy good reaction time, and you're not gonna be able to compete off the clamp. So you got to be able to have a couple moves in your repertoire and be able to like mess with them a little bit. So I'd say is like work more on one thing, especially clamping. Like work on something different too, just in case you meet someone like that. And I'd say the most undervalued thing is stick work and ground balls and stuff like that. Like a lot of those record holders for ground balls like are face-off guys. Like ground balls are a huge part of our position, and I don't think kids work on it enough.
How much have you learned about the kind of face-off wings and like wing play and having to play together? I know Culver obviously is prepping you a lot better than other schools in high school, but what are you learning now, being at Michigan that you maybe didn't have in the repertoire or knowledge of before you got to Michigan?
I think Culver and Michigan, like with wing play off the face-off, was super similar. Like there wasn't much different. I mean, obviously we had different calls when I was at Culver. Now we don't really have as many calls, but it's more of just communication kind of thing.
Mm.
But one big thing that our face-off coach, Coach Corrigan, he's our offensive coordinator, but then he also works with us face-off guys, is he's huge on us just communicating to our wings before every single face-off,
Mm. What
which
gives
has been helpful.
what gives you the most problems? And again, we're going to try to skirt along this line of teaching people things without teaching everybody your traits that they
Yeah.
can use against you. But like, what gives you the most problems on the wings? A lot of times, I'm telling my guys once the face-off guy takes a peek and then is down, like that's when you want to start moving because you can kind of change the location of where he thinks you're at.
That messes with you quite a bit sometimes. Like so I'll do. I mean, every faceoff kind of does that. So they'll look at their wings before they go down. But then once you're down, you're looking at the ball, so you have no idea where they're going after that. So if they move and you already had like a decision set in mind where you were going with the ball, and then they're there, that messes with you.
Got it. What are the ways that you counter that? Just again, probably maybe communication is
Yeah,
probably
the wings communicating to you
okay.
is a big one.
Got it. How much does referee cadence mess with you? Like that feels like such
A
a
lot.
such
It's
a
a huge
nuance.
part. A lot of our position is dictated on a ref, I'd say.
Wow.
A good amount. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, obviously, if
Yeah.
you're good, like it doesn't really, like it's not going to affect you as much. But like some kids are better at quick whistles where it's just like down to go, like no pause or anything. And then some kids like struggle with like where if there's a hold, they're like super antsy to go. Like they'll go early or they'll just like not react and stuff like that. Um, so that's a big part of it too. And then also like some refs are very critical about like lining up and stuff, so that can also mess with you like when you go down and they're like, "Oh, move this, move that." Like it's like you're kind of uncomfortable at that point.
Yeah. I like having the multi-sport talk on the show a lot, and I feel like wrestling is probably the easiest example that would cross over to face-offs. But like, how are you thinking about playing face-off with other sports?
So in high school I played football, and I mean growing up football was my thing. My dad played college football, so it was like I always played football. I always like enjoyed watching football and stuff like that. So playing two sports as an athlete, especially when you're younger, is huge. Because you don't want to burn yourself out. If you're playing one sport year round, you're gonna get burnt out. I guarantee it. But also like that stuff can translate over. Like I guess I mean I played running back, so it's not like super similar to face-offs, but it kind of helped with like my speed and cutting. which can be pretty crucial off the face-off. And then also, like, putting on weight for football, like, that helped me at the face-off position too.
Yeah, that's a really interesting position because you see huge dudes. Like who's that? Who was that guy from that played for the Chrome that was like just
Oh,
gigantic?
Connor Farrell. Yeah, he was a football player.
You can't get that size at any other position. Maybe
Yeah,
goalie, I guess, but face-offs is interesting because you could use
yeah.
that leverage in that way.
No, yeah, it's super critical for like the weight distribution and like, yeah, I'd say like weight distribution and like the way you just kind of like put your weight on the ball. Like it's huge. So if you're like bigger and you can control your weight, it helps.
We started the episode talking about transition play. Coach Gorsline calling you off before you can make those goals.
Yeah.
You got to give a shout out there. But
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about transition play and how you've evolved maybe over the past 2 years, 2 or 3 years, because I do feel like it's more of you're trying to tread water when you're first starting and you're
Yeah.
winning the face-off. But once you win the face-off consistently, it's about becoming an offensive player, a field player,
Yeah.
right? Like Pete LaSalle is a great example of a guy who would like stay on the field and dodge a
Yeah.
lot of the time. So how have you evolved as a kind of transition player in that way?
I think like transition for me has honestly been one of my strengths. Like if I'm winning the ball clean, I'm going to make a play with it, especially if I like go out forward. Like my goal is to score or get my teammates to score. So I've worked a ton on like on my shot, like 'cause on the run shots like the only shot I'm going to take, but also like recognizing like defensive slides and stuff like that. That's been a huge part of transition. And then like even like if you don't win it clean out forward, like you can still create something, like setting picks or setting an odd number, like running off the field, like messing with the other face-off guy, like getting an odd number so you have numbers. That's been a huge part of like transition and creating offense off the face-off.
I'm not an offensive coach, but that to me is the most fun. Like that because it's simple-ish, right? Like once you get the six guys going, and there's offensive coaches that know way more about that stuff than I do. But the yo-yo subbing, where you're like going then not, and then
Yeah.
also the pass down, pick down stuff. I find that fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that quite a bit at Culver. Like we did like a statue thing where I would just like run to like the corner on our subbing side and just like make it a 5-on-5 so our offense has more space to create. We had a couple like pick games that I did like where I'd come from the crease and
Yeah.
set a pick, and then we also had, like a couple plays where I'd just take it up top and take the face off like and dodge just to create like a slide for our offense.
One thing that I always found like interesting is I played a lot of midfield growing up, and we don't get a lot of time to talk. Like we do talk smack, but I feel like the close defenders and the attackmen, they're literally standing next to each other all the time. It's like you can just talk smack or whatever.
Yeah.
But face-off guys, how does that smack talk? How does that chirping work with face-off guys?
Honestly, like you don't hear it that often. Like I've never really been like a smack talker, really. Like I'm just like I'm going out there. My goal is to win the face off, and I'm just doing what's best for my team. Like I'm not. I've never been a smack talker really, and I've never really ran into kids that are much of smack talkers either.
Wow,
To be
okay.
honest, yeah. Like because when you're standing there, like the ref's right there. So like if you say something, it's like
Sure.
gotta kind of have to watch your mouth.
What-
Like most of the time, it'll be like when you're running off the field next to each other, but at that point, like you're sprinting off the field. Like if someone says something, you're not gonna say anything back.
Got it. What are some other things, just being a face-off guy, like people at home don't see, right, on a game day experience, or just your experience that people don't see other than just the face-off X,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, a lot of times you'll see us on the sideline, just either standing there, you'll see us just like chopping over the ball and stuff like that. We're just like on the sidelines and stuff, like when we're not actually playing, like we're staying warm. We're like making sure we're dialed in for that next face-off because we have very limited time on the field, but that time is super important. Like the more possessions your offense can have, the better, obviously. What Coach Rogalski says all the time is like, no defense is the best defense. Like us face-off guys, he'll be like, what's the best defense? We'll all just be like, no defense. So it's like we always got to be ready to win that next face-off because the less time our defense has to play defense is better.
It absolutely is, man. I miss having a guy who wins 70% of the face-offs.
Yeah, it's huge. Like a lot of times, teams who have better face-off guys are going to do better.
How do you feel about inclusion in practice? I think if anybody can take away anything from this podcast, which we've touched on a lot, I do feel like the one thing that could be the most crucial for face-off kids across the country is their inclusion in practice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's such a delicate, how much are you giving them practice, but also how much are they involved in the actual team drills and things like this. So
Yeah.
I'm just interested in how you think about this.
I mean, if you're at a younger age, I'd say do everything in practice because you don't want to become like a pure fogo when you're in like middle school because you still want to learn like play lacrosse, obviously, and you're at that age where it's like fogos aren't a huge thing yet. So for me, like when I was younger, like I did everything in practice, and then on my own time, I would do face-off stuff because I knew that's what I was best at. So if I wanted to keep up with the face-off stuff, I'll do that on my own time because I still wanted to play lacrosse. But then it was like right when I got to Culver, like when you're playing with like some of the best high school kids in the country, like I don't need to play offense anymore. Like I'm gonna have the guys who are actually like pretty good at it do it. So that's when I like solely would like work on face-offs. Like
Are
our
you
inclusion-
working on uneven stuff?
Yeah, like we'll do all the transition type of drills. Um, we'll do everything stick work wise, but then it's as soon as like you get into like 6v6 and like the offensive and defensive and development stuff, that's when like we'll kind of stray off and do our own thing. And that's even here in Michigan, like once they get into like 6-on-6, 5-on-5 and development, that's when we're like not included, which makes sense
Yeah.
because like that's our development period to work on what we need to. But transition, like uneven drills and stick work, we're always a part of.
Okay. What's the ideal scenario of being included in practice? Would you like a coach to have more where we're starting kind of on a face-off and then we go uneven? Does that help? I'm assuming that helps you more, but I'm just interested in this balance, man, because I think a lot of face-off guys get left to the wayside when it comes to team drills and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, some of the drills we like, obviously we're like watching, like, dang, like, kind of want to be a part of that. Looks fun, or like we want to be included. But at the same time, it's like we can be a drill killer too when it comes to this because we're not like that. We're never gonna. Some of these drills we're never gonna be like really a part of in game, so it doesn't really make sense for us to do it and take away these reps from other people or like mess up because like we don't know what we're doing. But I like all these drills. Like we should be. I think as face-off guys, like just put yourself in drills, especially if you're younger. Like just do the drills. But like when you're older and like if you're playing competitive in high school and at the college age, like you listen to what your coach tells you. We haven't really been included in many drills this year as a face-off unit just because we've been really short on numbers. Like it was only me and one other kid this fall because Jackie was injured. So it was like Coach Connery did not want us to get hurt or anything bad to happen where we only have one guy and it's like, oh shoot, like what do we do now? So it was like it's a scarce amount of face-off guys you have, so at the same time I get it, like you don't want
That's
your numbers
true.
to be super low, especially with the new rule now that you basically have to have like 2 or 3 guys like in rotation all the time now because if you go early you have to have another face-off guy go out. So you always have to make sure your numbers are right.
I had a coach on recently that was talking about like the one-liners or the kind of mantras that we kind of use for practice as coaches and all this stuff. He calls them jingles, so I'm just using the term jingles now. But is there like a jingle that you tell yourself when you're losing face-offs? And that probably didn't happen a lot at Culver. I'm sure you like faced some really great guys, but was there a time where you were like given 20% wins on the face-off, and what is the mental kind of game or thoughts you're having to kind of get yourself back into it?
It's just like that's what I was talking about earlier. It's just like you got to have more than one move in the repertoire. So like if you're going in and you're not winning much, you got to make sure you got to change something. So that was a huge thing in me. It's just like stay in the game. Like you're obviously here for a reason. Just change things up.
Okay. All right, the last 2 questions I have, and I'll let you get out of here. Probably film a day in the life here. You should film this. You should film getting interviewed on a podcast. That would be
Not a bad idea.
yeah, I could. I mean, let's figure that out afterwards. But 2 quick lightning questions. I'll preempt this, and I'll let you think about this for a little while. But who's on the Mount Rushmore of face-off guys? So I'll let you think about that for a while. This one's maybe a little bit easier of a question. What's your favorite drill and why?
What's my favorite drill?
And why?
Like face-off drill?
Yeah.
I love like taking face off and then like shooting it off the face off. We'll do that a lot with our face off unit. It's just practicing like throwing fakes or hitting the point man or shooting on the run. Like I always find that enjoyable.
Do you bring in the cages, or you're just working the normal parameters?
So like we'll bring in the cages a little bit, so it won't be like full scale. But if I'm on my own, like I'll do full scale. But if it's like during practice, we'll like shorten it a little bit.
Okay, I like that. All right, who's on the Mount Rushmore?
Definitely put Trevor Baptiste up there. Like yeah, obviously have to. TD Erlin, he's
Okay.
always up. He's up there too.
So new school guys that are still playing.
Yeah. Um. Trevor Baptiste, TD Erlin. I'll put PD LaSala up there.
Okay,
Yeah. Um.
I like these three.
Yeah.
The old heads are gonna be mad because there's only one spot left.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know many of the older face-off guys. I'm gonna be completely honest. Um. I got one more spot. Fourth one. I'd put probably like Mikey Sisselberger up there too.
Okay, I don't know much about Mikey. I probably should. I'm probably gonna get flamed for that. What was his story?
He played at Lehigh, and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if he does have the like percentage record or not, but I think his senior year he was like he either had it or he was right there, but he was pretty damn good his senior year
that
at Lehigh.
that was when Lehigh had Kevin Cassis, right? And they were like winning
Yeah.
a bunch. Yeah,
Yep.
got it. Okay, all right, man. I'll put you on the spot there, and you came through with flying colors. Let's end this podcast, man. Tay, I appreciate you joining. It was a pleasure, man. I can't wait to continue to see your rise in the social media game and in the regular game in between the lines too, man. I'm gonna be watching you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.